Mental health is a topic that affects us all in some way, and while it may seem beneficial to be positive at all times, it can actually be harmful to your mental and emotional health.
Psychotherapist Hope England of Raiden Wellness joins us now to break down the difference between toxic positivity and productive positivity. What's the difference there?
Sure. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. So toxic positivity is often full of false reassurances like just shake it off or it'll get better or no bad days, things like that. And it can be harmful because it doesn't validate or hold all of our emotion, right? It can also feel dismissive or isolating.
Yeah.
I feel like toxic is a pretty extreme word. What makes it toxic?
Yeah, I think it's the way it makes us feel, right? Like, oftentimes when we feel shame for expressing, people often say good or bad emotions. I don't like that. I like to say painful or heavy emotions like sadness, grief, anger, loss. If we don't validate that in someone, then we suppress it in some ways, and it can manifest in other ways, which can really be toxic to our health, toxic to ourselves and other people around us.
So it gives us the opposite effect of what it set out to do. So how should we be trying to lift ourselves and get ourselves out of these dumps and doldrums?
Yeah, I think the first thing we can do is to be honest about what we're feeling and to let others know what we need. Like, hey, I need active listening right now and just space holding. I don't need advice giving or platitudes. Just be here with me in this. I think oftentimes people, I work with my clients and say that there's one-uppers, you know, like, oh, I've had that too, or I've done that, or just be present, just listen. You know, deep, active listening can be really helpful. Another thing we can do is work on boundary setting, and we can do that through professional help, seeking professional help and psychotherapy, things like that.
Follow up on that, which I think you're talking to this already, is how do we deal with somebody that is toxic positive? I noticed that I'm surrounded by a lot of people that tend to want to fix my problems, and then sometimes I feel like, you know, they're not listening to me. So how do I get that across?
Yeah, I think, as I said, letting people know what you need, and also setting those boundaries like I shared, and just being real, you know, like we all have these emotions. Emotions tell us things, they inform us if something's not right, if we're not safe, if we need something. So being able to be open and honest about that is really important.
Just be direct and say, hey, you're not listening to me.
Absolutely, or just like, I just need you to listen right now. Like, I don't need advice, just be with me in this.
How does social media play into that? Because I mean, if depending on who you follow, sometimes they're positive word of the day, Sunday soul wisdom,
It's too
Monday
much.
motivation. Yes. I mean, every time you turn around, somebody is telling you, just be happy you woke up this morning.
I know.
You know.
I mean, do they really believe that when they're posting it? Okay.
I'm not sure. I mean, social media can be toxic, right? So I think it's really important to be mindful of who we're following, what we're following, and also seeking out real, genuine, authentic relationships. I think social media can often be kind of a fake simulation that we live in, and not full of like real, genuine relationships. I think genuine authenticity is something that we can use to combat toxic positivity, if that makes sense.
You've talked at length about setting boundaries, but is it okay to like let people go in your life if they aren't? Is that a boundary? Is that a way to uphold a boundary?
Sure, that's one way to. It's one way to set and uphold a boundary for sure. That's where I would recommend working with a professional. You know, to know like what's actually happening for you. What are the dynamics here, the relational, interpersonal, or family dynamics, and how do you work with it in a way where you feel empowered versus shame or guilt or something like that. So yeah, it is okay to absolutely set a boundary and take space and figure out what you need. You can come back to that, or you can just not.
Be true to yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
Hope, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
This is a great topic.
It's a great topic. It's one that people don't want to touch, but we appreciate you going there for us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.